Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and today is day 2 of the 2022 NFL Draft, and in today's video I will be going over some day 2 prospects that I think the Washington Commanders should target, whether that's at 47 or 98. We're going to be going through a few different players I think the Commanders should target. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 7,500 subscribers. So please help me get there. Also with that like button and turn on those notifications so you never miss any draft videos. And go ahead and follow the Twitter, trying to get to 1,500 followers on there. Now let's get right into the video. Okay, so it is day 2 of the draft, and the Washington Commanders have a couple picks, unless, of course, they make a trade back or trade up, then things could change. But they have pick 47, and that's in the second round, and they have pick 98, which is in the third round. So they have some assets, because they did trade back from 11 to 16, got pick obviously 16, they got 98 as well, and I believe 120, so good on them for getting some assets back. And I talked about it a little bit more in my stream yesterday with Juan Gotti from Juan Gotti Talking Sports, and also in my videos, so go ahead and check out both of those things. But we'll talk about that, the Jahan Dotson move, more after the draft is over. But let's talk about some day 2 targets. So one of them, of course, is Nakobe Dean, who a lot of people thought, some people thought we should draft in, at 11 or even 16 if we traded back. I really didn't think so. I didn't think we needed, draft a linebacker in the first round because we had bigger needs. But I think drafting, or not even that we had bigger needs, but I think, the value in the first round isn't necessarily the best when you probably should be taking a receiver or if Kyle Hamilton is there. But now in the second, the value is too good to pass up, in my opinion. If Nakobe Dean is there at 47, I just don't think it's going to happen. That's 15 picks into the second round. If you want Nakobe Dean, unless something crazy happens, you're going to have to trade up. And I would be fine if they did that. Like, if you want to throw in that extra 4th round pick and maybe, something else for next year, I am totally fine doing that, getting some more assets, or, giving up some more assets to get Nakobe Dean, who's going to be a game changer right away. He's not super big, not extremely athletic, but great instincts, very smart football player, and he's going to be a good linebacker in this league. Might not be an elite a linebacker, we'll see, but I think, it's really good value here in the second round. And, looks like Washington has interest. Again, though, I don't see it happening. I would love for it to happen. I just don't think he's going to be there when Washington's picking at 47, so they're going to have to trade up. I just don't think they're going to. And, it might even be like you're going to have to trade up like 10 plus spots to get Nakobe Dean. Only thing that might make him slip down a little bit more is that only one quarterback went in the first. So, there's probably going to be a run on quarterbacks right around or maybe before Washington picks. So that's actually good. So even if Nakobe Dean gets taken, maybe Malik Willis, Matt Corral, and Desmond Ridder all go before 47, and Washington won't be taking any of those guys, so it puts 3 other players that wouldn't have been there, and it puts them, for Washington at 47. So something to keep in mind. So he's definitely a guy I would target. Some other guys, Jalen Petrie, safety / corner out of Baylor. He could play your Buffalo nickel. He could play free safety. A bunch of different things for you. Jaquan Brisker out of Penn State. Andrew Booth. Luke Godke or Gedeke, I know I'm mispronouncing it. He's a guard option I would not mind at all. He's tackle in college, but he could play guard at the next level. There's some other options as well. Trey McBride. I'm not huge on taking a tight end in the second, but I would not mind it. I think he would be somewhat of an instant impact player for the Washington Commanders. And yeah, I wouldn't mind that in the second, adding to this offense. And some other guys as well. I talked about Andrew Booth, some kind of 3rd round options, and we're going to go more in depth into each of these guys. Troy Anderson out of Montana State, I believe he is definitely an option at the linebacker position. Some other linebacker options, Chad Muma, going to go in that 2nd to 3rd round range. Leo Chenal, 2nd to 3rd round range as well. He's another guy. Christian Harris, 2nd to 3rd round range as well. A lot of those guys are not really true middle linebackers. All of them probably can play middle linebacker, but like Chad Muma is the one true middle linebacker out of that group. But some of those guys, also could play the Buffalo nickel position if they really wanted to as well. So Washington has there's going to be some good players for Washington to take here. I think with one of those two picks, they should take a linebacker or safety, and the other pick, take whoever you didn't take. It could be if you take a safety in the second, maybe you take a linebacker, or they can just do whatever. Like if great tight ends there, take one offensive line, D-line as well. Like Perrion Winfrey is another option that they could go for. So let's go more in depth. So like Jalen Petrie out of Baylor, safety, 6 foot, 197 pounds. This past year had 75 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions. So kind of plays all over the place, but he could play safety for you. He could play that Buffalo nickel. Would be good value in the second round. And yeah, I would not mind him at all. Jaquan Brisker is another good player that Washington could draft in the second. Get those 2 Penn State teammates reunited, 4.49 40-yard dash, 22 bench press reps, which is pretty good for a safety for a DB, 35-inch vertical jump, and projected to go round 2. NFL comparison is Justin Reed, so he would be another option at the safety position. Nick Cross is another option I would not mind at all in the second round. Pretty quick safety, could play free safety, could play strong safety. A lot of these guys are versatile, but he isn't. There's a lot of good safety options. I think his name, Kyler Gordon, out of Washington, he's a cornerback option that Washington could add. They're in a very good position where there's going to be some good football players there for them at 47. Now going to Trey McBride out of Colorado State, 6'4", 260 pounds. He had an insane year this past year, 90 catches, 1,100 yards, 1 touchdown. I think he's the best tight end in this class. And, if you take him in the second, I think that's a little, not early for him, but I just don't think we need a tight end that bad. But, he can probably do more than that. Really haven't watched film on him. But he would be a pick that I wouldn't necessarily want to make, but wouldn't be upset about it, would be excited about the potential that he could bring to this offense, because then you would have Trey McBride, Logan Thomas, John Bates, and he could give you some pressure off of Logan Thomas if he's, it takes him a few weeks into the season to get back healthy. So he's, is definitely someone that they, could consider at 47. Could be there, could not be there. I don't think he's going to be there with, that pick 98. Another possibility is running back. They could go Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall. Even with getting a, third round pick, I think taking a running back isn't the best idea at, in the second round. Even in the third round, I think we should take a running back, though, on day 3. So, Brian Robinson, Damian Pierce, I believe that's his name, White out of Georgia, the backup running back. Even James Cook could be an option. Abram Smith out of Baylor. There's a lot of good day 3 running backs where Washington doesn't have to invest a lot. In day 2, I think they should be investing in, the secondary, maybe free safety, Buffalo nickel, linebacker. Like those are the main positions, and then maybe guard if you really want to. And if you think you're going to move on from Daron Payne, maybe you can get someone like Perrion Winfrey, get a D tackle or something in the second. But I would not be surprised really with anything besides maybe quarterback. I don't think they're going to take a quarterback, and probably not a receiver. Like if George Pickens is there, maybe they would be tempted to take him. I don't think they would, though. So a lot of different possibilities. My dream scenario would be taking Nakobe Dean at 47. It's just going to be very, very unlikely that he's going to be there. But even if they trade up 5, 6, 7 spots, I would give that an A+ move. You're not going to have to trade, give up as much to move up in the second versus moving up in the first, where it's those, picks are much more valuable. So they could do that if they really did want to. And, Grant Paulson's saying that they're interested, but of course they're interested. He's like one of the best players available. I just don't think he's going to be there. So if he's not there, you can take Chad Muma in the second, and I would feel very, very good about that. I think he's going to be a very good linebacker in this league out of Wyoming. He's I think he's going to be a middle linebacker. Like he's one of the true middle linebackers in this class. After the first round, and I guess Nakobe Dean as well. He was projected to go in the first round, but any of those guys, I'm happy with. Just fill these holes, fill some of these holes. Don't take a running back in the second, but they could take Kenneth Walker, they could take Breece Hall. I just would disagree with it. So let me know what you guys have to say. And of course, I think you guys heard, but Jahan Dotson had his press conference today, and not any major takeaways. I'll probably go ahead and watch it again, but he is wearing number 1, so I like that number. 2, De'Ami Brown already has that, and 3, I believe William Jackson switched to 3, and yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I think that's a good number. He's going to look good in that. And yeah, we'll see what happens with him. I'll, do a breakdown on him a little bit later. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those notifications so you never miss a video. Peace, guys.